Hi friends, welcome or welcome back to my channel. We have another currently inked. I can't believe it is already nearing the end of June. Feels like we were just here doing a currently inked. I gathered most, if not all, of my inks and all of my pens. We have my Hobonichi A5 notebook. We do have a little bit of ink that bled through on this side, so I'm gonna cover it up. We have these vintage stickers from my shop. They're transparent though, so I don't think those will work. Maybe something different. What about one of these ink stickers? That kind of worked. So I keep all the miscut ones and use them myself, and that's why it kind of looks funny. Maybe we'll just put something over it. Well, now it just looks weird. Why is this getting worse? How about this? You are enough. There we go. It'll just be like a cute reminder. Good enough. Yeah, you are enough. Duh. All right. Currently inked. Do we want to do it over here or here? Maybe we'll start it over here, and if we have to, we'll go over here. The only reason is because you can kind of see some of the ink swatches already bleeding through from the other side. We're going to start with some of the pens that I actually inked up and finished. This one, oh man, this one I inked up this month. This is a Pilot Custom 743. It's the Verdigris. I love this pen. It's like the sister pen to the A23. I don't think it has any more ink in there. Oh, it does. I think it has just enough. Nope. Come on. Maybe it has just enough to go through this writing sample. Nope. Darn. Okay. That kind of worked. Oh my god. I can't believe I'm doing it like this. So this is the first ink bottle that I've ever completely used. And it is the Sailor Shikiori Rikyucha. Sailor? I can't believe this actually worked. Shikiori oh shoot, I think I spelled it wrong. Rikucha. This is my favorite ink of all time. It is no surprise that I used up all of it. There's actually a little bit left. I used a syringe to fill this up, and I think whatever was in the bottle remaining must have like accumulated at the bottom. But I'm so happy that I was able to show you at least a writing sample. It is so beautiful. This ink behaves so differently on Tamale River paper because if you do a big swatch, it kind of looks blue, but for the most part, it looks like a green brown. And if I remember correctly, the name means like a mix of green tea and black tea, I think. I think that's what it means. So knowing that, it made me even more excited. It was one of the first bottles of Sailor ink that I've ever bought, and I really want another one, but I already have so many bottles of ink. But this is just such an exciting moment, isn't it? To finish a bottle of ink. Have you ever finished a bottle of ink? Let me know in the comments. It's such a nice foresty, calming green. But when I swatched it in my ink journal, I categorized it with the greens, but I should have put it in the blues because look at this. Like if you lay a heavy enough swatch on there, apparently it can sheen and turn kind of blue. And I thought I was hallucinating, but I went on like Mountain of Ink or somebody's website at the time, and they mentioned that, so I thought that was very interesting. So we have that one. And I actually remember when I saw the ink level going down, I was like, I'm saving this. And that was last year. I swear I had a few more fills left. So I don't know if some of it evaporated because I wasn't even able to fill up the entire cartridge converter. Although the Con 70 does hold a lot of ink. I think it would have filled up maybe 2 Sailor ink cartridges when I last left this ink. I think some of it evaporated, which is scary, which is the only thing that's keeping me from going out and buying another one, because I actually took inventory of my ink bottles recently and I have way too many. So I'm not really allowed to buy any more right now. We also wrote dry this Jinhao 100 that was in my last currently inked. This one was a Pilot Kakuno, and this one was a Sailor Pro Gear Slim Manyo leaf or something like that. moving on to the current month, we have this Pilot Metropolitan in a fine nib. I think last month I said it was extra fine. It's actually fine. And this has the Atramentus Document Black. This has surprised me because I have used this pen multiple times and it is still inked up for the month. I swear, even when I was using Pilot ink in here or in the Metropolitans, they would dry up. Like the cap's not the best sealing cap, but I think it's the ink because when I put it in my Pilot Vanishing Point, it just lasted and lasted. Like it wouldn't even have a hard start, even though it's a permanent ink, and I left it in my Vanishing Point for a few days before clicking and it would write immediately. I wouldn't have to get it to start up a little bit. So I'm really surprised that it's somehow still writing. But we'll swatch this ink too. This is the Atramentus. I always have trouble spelling it for some reason. I think I swatched this last month, so I shouldn't have to. Freaking love this ink. Love it. It's just so smooth, so black. Wonderful. Highly, highly recommend it. I keep thinking I have Takesumi in here though, because it's my favorite black ink. Takesumi has a special place in my heart though, because it was my first bottle of ink ever. I have my Kaweco Sport Iridescent Pearl in a double broad nib. And this one has Ferris Wheel Press Velvet Ballet in it. And this is a very nice smooth nib that handles shimmer very, very well. This is actually a very nice red shimmer ink from Ferris Wheel Press. Usually I find their shimmer inks a little dry, or just like most of their inks. Some of them can be kind of dry and a little disappointing. That's Ferris Wheel Press. So it's on the darker side of a red, almost like a maroon, but it's very pretty. It has like a silver shimmer. You probably won't be able to see it until the swatch dries though. Next up, we have this pen that I've carried over from March. This was the Platinum 3776 Century in the shape of a heart, extra fine nib with platinum blue-black cartridge. I'm not going to talk about this one because I already talked about it a lot last month. The ink is still really, really nice and it writes very smoothly, but it's wonderful. I do get a little bored of what my pens are inked up with, and with an extra fine nib. It'll take some time, but it'll be okay. This is my Sailor Pro Gear Slim Spring Rain. Can you believe how many ink names and pen models we remember, but we can't remember some basic stuff? 21 karat gold nib. This is a very, very nice pen. My partner gifted it to me for my birthday 1 year. Sailor Ink Studio 335. This is a very, very nice dual shading purple pink ink. Very small sample left. And it writes well. Actually, the nib is not as good as the other 21 karat nib I have in a Pro Gear Slim, but this ink writes well. It's well behaved for a Sailor ink. I have had some Sailor inks that don't like to write very well, are very dry. This one's pretty good. And I really like the color too, because it's just like a different shading purple than just your normal purple. And it actually shows through on the camera, unlike some purples. Okay, now we have the Lamy. Do you say Lamy or Lamy? Which one is it? Lamy 2000 Black Macrolon. That doesn't look right. Whatever, who cares? Medium. What does this one have? Do you know? Oh, I know. Graf von Faber-Castell Carbon Black. This is a beautiful, beautiful ink bottle. It writes beautifully, and I don't know, it's like the perfect combo for the month, I think. Look at this bottle. Graf von Faber-Castell. Ignore the glue or whatever this is. I bought this from Atlas Stationers when it was on sale a few years ago now. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I've been in the hobby for a few years. It feels like it was just yesterday I bought this ink, and because it was on last chance, you know when Atlas puts things on last chance, it usually means they're not getting it back. So I thought no one really cared about this ink, but it is so good. The bottle is phenomenal. The ink writes so smoothly. And in this pen, I think it might be my favorite for the month to journal with. It's so reliable. It's a comfortable black. It doesn't have much gray to it. At least I don't think it does. Let me see the swatch. One day I'm gonna have to swatch all of my black inks together to see if I am justified in buying different shades of black ink. But you can always use black ink, so I'm already justified. If you don't have one already, grab a bottle of Graphon Faber-Castell ink. It's just so pretty. Seriously, go and get a bottle for yourself. Worth it. They are kind of pricey though, aren't they? But you can always save 10% at Atlas Stationers or Pen Boutique. Those are my two main go-to pen stores that I also have discount codes for. Okay, what are we doing now? Did not realize I had another platinum 3776 Century. This is the Laurel green. Once again, I'm surprised I remember all this stuff. That's a coarse nib and it is inked with, I was just saying I'm surprised by how much I remember, and now I can't remember. Oh, I remember. Vinta Lopez, bronze yellow. There were people talking in the Discord. Atlas Stationers has a Discord. They were talking about like a yellow ink, and I recommended this one to them because it's not fully yellow. I think if we had a yellow ink, it'd probably make me unhappy because it wouldn't be legible enough or something. But it's kind of like a gold black ink. I think it's really, really pretty, and I really want a full-size bottle, but they are sold out at Atlas right now. So I'll just have to live with it for now. At least I have a sample. It flows really well, and there's a comforting factor to this kind of shading ink. It almost looks like it could be a Birmingham Pen Company ink though, doesn't it? I swear I'm about to dip my swatching tool in my own cup of water. I don't think I'm gonna be drinking the ink water, but I might accidentally dip into the wrong cup, which is over here. I tried to do an ink rainbow, but I wasn't intentional about how I laid it out. So I am sorry. Kind of just happens when you start filming and want to just dive right into it. But I am enjoying seeing all the ink rainbows on my YouTube feed. I think that's so fun and lovely. Here we go. What do we have here? Lamy All-Star in a medium nib. I don't remember what the name of this color was. I got it on sale at Atlas Stationers way back when. It was probably around the time I got my Graphon Faber-Castell ink, and I think it was a gift to myself for my birthday. I don't remember what's in here. I think it's this one, Noodlers. I don't really like using orange, red, or pink inks, but I'm just trying to use this one up, so I don't have it in my stash anymore. What was I saying? Oh, I bought this pen really early on, and I remember, I think I bought it for my birthday on sale at Atlas, because during that time, I was like, I'm not spending any more than like 50 bucks. It was around the time I bought my very first TWSBI Eco, and I bought the rose gold edition with the white. And I was thinking, I'm definitely never going to spend anything beyond $50 for a pen. And here we are, somehow slipped and completely lost that version of me. But I remember being so stern with myself because $50 is a lot of money. But now my pens are a little more than that, and I don't even hesitate. When did that happen? I can probably tell you when it happened, but why did it happen? We actually have another Lamy, and I want to leave it out of my currently inked because I did this last month. All-Star, a medium. This is purple. I don't know if this model is purple or dark purple because I saw Maria, I think. She bought this pen. Yeah, I think it was Maria. and she was saying it's like purple but not purple. Is it this one? Anyway, on some sites it says dark purple. On some sites it just says purple. Whatever. It has the Lamy blue ink cartridge. I think what surprised me about this, also in the same boat as the Pilot Metropolitan, I thought these pens dry up really fast. I know my Lamy Safari dries up really fast, so maybe the metal ones just have a little bit of a better seal, or the cartridges just last forever. But we're almost done with this one. It's very pretty. All right, a lot more pens this month than last month. Let's see if I can change my writing angle without getting ink all over myself. Pro Gear Slim Mini. I've been spelling it Zine Pink, but I don't even know if that's the correct one. This is also a carryover. Birmingham Pen Company. Malachite. Malachite? I don't know about you, but I get bored of having the same ink color, especially of having the same pen to talk about 2 months in a row. So we're just not going to talk about this one. I was using it in my Bible plotter, which I just posted a video for. It was nice to carry it around. It's really cute. The nib is not the best, but I was at a restaurant and my husband needed a pen because the one that the restaurant gave him was not working. So mine came in handy. Even though sometimes it doesn't write very well, it wrote well in the time that we needed it. So that's all that matters. Oh, I didn't even do the ink swatch for this one. My ink swatches are so ugly. I wish I could keep it more uniform like some of you guys. Make it so pretty. Maybe I'll fill it in later, but I probably won't. Okay, we need to talk about this one. 1911S 2023 pen of the year, golden olive. So I really wanted this pen for a while, especially when I first saw it and I was outside of my price range. And then I got really upset about not being able to buy the Hobonichis last year. If you saw my unboxing video for my 3 Sailor pens that I bought during the Don't Miss the Boat sale in September 2024, you will know the story behind this pen. But I've always wanted this pen and it's so pretty. I do wish I had gotten it in the large version, but the thing is, and I don't know if it's because I bought 3 pens in 1 month, maybe I just didn't give it enough space between purchases. I don't appreciate this one as much as I should, even though I really wanted this pen and I was so excited to see it on sale. Just got ink on myself. Great. But this is a broad nib. And this one's weird because I don't think the ink is supposed to look like this. I don't think I cleaned out the nib very well. And I know I didn't because I inked this with some purple Noodlers ink at some point. And you probably can't tell, but it's still stuck on the nib, on the part that's between the feed and the nib. And it's pissing me off. But I also am too lazy to clean it out. I haven't put it in an ultrasonic or anything like that yet. Well, anyways, obviously I didn't clean it out very well, and this is not the color that it's supposed to be. I have it inked with Colorverse Brinicles. I labeled them because I wanted to put them back in a box. They're actually still in the box. Day 15 of the Colorverse Colorvent 2024 was Brinicles, and for some reason, in this pen it is green, but I'm pretty sure it's a blue ink. What did I do? That's a blue ink. Oh my gosh. It's not even close to the writing. But what's really funny is I actually don't really like blue ink that much, and I love green ink. Can you tell the difference? This is kind of like an ocean blue, and this is more of a green. I don't know if you can tell. I actually like the green, so this is fine for me, but not fine for the ink representation. But it's okay. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is with me and this pen, because it almost reminds me of the Yoseka pen too, which I definitely can't afford that one. But I bought it at the same time as this pen, and I really like this pen too. But once again, I don't want to tell them this, but I think I don't love them. Don't listen. Don't listen. I love you all. But I don't know. I don't think I've given it a fair appreciation, and I think I need to give myself time between pens to appreciate them. I can't buy 3 pens at once anymore. That was ridiculous. Sailor 1911 S fried egg jellyfish. This is a medium nib. And we actually have some random mix in here. This was the Monteverde pumpkin cake crossed with Colorverse Pioneer container. I remember being really excited about the name of this pen. Oh no, when did... Every time. This is a brand new shirt too, so I really hope I don't get it on my nice shirt. Got this Airism jacket from Uniqlo. I'm a big Uniqlo fan. We don't have those here, but when I do get to visit a store, I kind of go all out. So the Monteverde ink pumpkin cake. It was one of my first inks, which I guess they haven't been used in a while. My first set of inks that I bought, because I've been going through this journey of ink buying and everything, so I must be subconsciously revisiting them. But yeah, I bought it when I first got into Atlas Stationers, and it was also on sale. And then the cap on the bottle got a little funky. I think it was just crusty, which kind of happens with some brown or red inks. But I freaked out because I thought it was mold, and I looked up online and people were talking about Monteverde inks having mold. And what I ended up doing, which was really silly, is I threw away the cap, but I didn't throw away the ink bottle. And then I had saran wrap over it and a rubber band. I had a piece of plastic over it for a while, and I was like, this is stupid too. The ink's just gonna evaporate. So I ended up mixing it in these vials with a bunch of other inks, and then I only have like 5 mils left. For some reason, I didn't want to make it the first ink bottle that I completed because it felt like it was forced. I stupidly threw away the cap and whatnot, and I don't even like this ink that much. I'm so happy that this was my first bottle that I finished. Rikyucha. So good. Go and buy it. But yeah, I mixed it with a whole bunch of other inks in my collection, and then I only have 5 mils left of this Monteverde pumpkin cake ink. It mixed really well, and I got some really cool combinations out of it actually. Alright, finally we have the last pen for June. Hold on, we have red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo-ish, purple. So we kind of got a rainbow. I feel bad. It's okay. I feel bad because I put it all out of order, so it doesn't look aesthetic. Whatever. It doesn't matter. It's the thought that counts, I think. Where are we? We are at Pelikan M800. Green black, black green, in a medium nib. And this has Troublemaker Petrichor. So here's the thing about this one. I think I also didn't clean this out very well, and I must have had a darker ink in there because I think it made my ink darker, and it's also a much drier ink, so I'm glad I put it in this nib. But I am confused because here's a couple things. I was looking at it, ignore the band-aid, I accidentally stabbed myself with scissors. I was being really stupid. I dropped a pair of scissors. I thought they still had a cap on them, and I usually pushed the cap in using my hand, but then I accidentally stabbed myself because the cap wasn't on the scissors. Whatever. So this is the nib. It is gorgeous. When I looked at it from behind though, it started looking funny to me. So head on it looks fine, but if I tilt it a little bit, okay, like that, you can kind of see the feed. Am I just weird? Am I just going crazy? I guess like head on it looks okay now. I did try to adjust it a little. I tried to shift it. One thing I noticed is that on Tomoe river paper, everything writes really, really well. On drier paper, it doesn't write very well. And I never really noticed because I always put a wet ink in here, but this is the first time that I put a drier ink in here, and I had a little bit of trouble. But I also noticed that in the past, because you can't see the ink level anymore, in the old models I guess you could, so I don't know how much is in here ink wise, and I started twisting a piston to get more ink to saturate the feed. But now I'm confused. Do I have like a nib that doesn't write well if I have to keep priming it? Or is it because I write so much with it when I first ink it up that I use most of the ink to the point where I have to prime it because there's nothing left? Because when I do ink this one up, I'm writing pages and I'm so happy. But then I have to twist it. So I don't know if it's the nib or if I'm just running out of ink really fast. But this is the first time I put a dry ink in there, and it is very dry. I really wanted a full bottle of this, but when I'm not writing on Stationery river paper, it's so dry that I was getting skips. Another thing I realized is that I am hesitant to travel with this pen, even between rooms. I keep it in my cases, but I'm afraid to like drop the case or something because this is, I think, the most expensive pen that I own, or at least the most I've paid for one. What I've noticed is that I actually just keep it on my desk, but I don't always sit at my desk to write. Sometimes I'll sit in bed or on the sofa, but I'm hesitant to like bring it to use because I'm afraid I'll drop it or something. And that makes me question, what's the point of a pen if I'm not going to use it? And it almost makes me sad because I love how this writes, but I'm scared to bring it around the house with me. So if you deal with that kind of feeling, or you have in the past and you've overcome it, can you please let me know in the comments? Because I think I want to use this, but I'm feeling the hesitancy. Anyways, that was enough for this pen. We can just go ahead and swatch the ink and see if it is actually this color. The thing about this ink is that it is really cool because it's like multi-shading. It's from Troublemaker and it's very, very pretty. I really, really like how it behaves. I'm glad I put it in a wet writing pen. I love the ink name Petrichor because I think when I looked it up, it's like the scent of like rain after it rains or something. Let me look it up again. It was really romantic and fun, and I'm just butchering it. A pleasant smell that frequently accompanies the first rain after a long period of warm, dry weather. Isn't that romantic? That's so pretty. How do you put that into an ink? A smell, a pleasant smell that accompanies the first rain after a dry period. If someone came to me with that definition, I don't know if I could create an ink out of that. But they have so much depth to this ink in shading, color, that I am blown away. It's wonderful. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We have 13 pens inked for June 2025. Oh, this was fun. Thank you guys for being here. If you've watched the whole way, make sure you like and subscribe. And stay tuned for more videos. Let me know in the comments below if you have tried any of these inks or any of these pens. Which one was your favorite? I think my favorite was the Pelikan M800 and this Lamy 2000. I might have to go with the Lamy just because of all the issues, the mental block I was having with the Pelikan. And I love this ink. And surprisingly enjoyed this Ferris wheel press Velvet Ballet. Although I don't think I will be getting a full-size bottle. I really miss my Sailor. After it dried, it almost looks blue, but you can see the smidge of what it usually looks like, and it is this brownish green. So isn't that funny? Of all the writing, it never comes out blue, but the swatch comes out blue. Only on Stationery river paper. Okay. I think we're done. Remember, you are enough. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Bye!